What's up, guys? Shuckle King here for my Week 6 battle for MLBA versus Xilicks and the Detroit Torcats. Now, shoutouts to the Philadelphia Eagles for winning the Super Bowl. I was in Philly when it happened, just like a block or two away from Broad Street, which is like the major street, I would say, in Philadelphia. For the most, yeah, depending. It's right near City Hall. So there was a bunch of excitement after the game there, so that was very cool. But anyway, looking at Xilicks' team, he has, you can see there, Mega Lopunny, Frostlass, Zapdos, Empoleon, Boar, Gastrodon, Zygarde 10%, Crocodile, Gardevoir, Amoonguss, Armaldo, and Swadloon. Now, I guess with all the bunch of Ubers that are allowed in this league, he actually doesn't have any, but he has a lot of very like 10, 11, 12 point mons on his team, like Frostlass, like Empoleon, Emboar, Gastrodon, Zygarde, Crook, Moongus, Gardevoir, all very solid pokes, but nothing terribly threatening. Obviously, Mega Lopunny is so annoying. It outspeeds Naganadel. I do have a Skarmory to take it on pretty well, and even Mew are both pretty good answers to it. But Mega Lopunny is really annoying, and Frostlass is a little annoying just because it outspeeds my Lando, outspeeds my Thundy. If it's Scarfed, it outspeeds Naganadel. So just any ice type really is a problem in my team because my ice resist is Kingler. So that's not the greatest thing. But other than that, I'm not terribly threatened by his team. Zapdos can be a little bit annoying, especially because if I bring Skarn, then Zapdos can come in for free. But Naganadel can even take a hit pretty well. I guess Mew, especially defensive. Lando has to watch out for HP Ice from Zapdos, but it outspeeds it at least, which is cool there. So the three pokes I feel like are pretty good. Naganadel, I get the +2. He really has no switch-ins. I guess maybe in Empoleon, it depends what my third coverage move is besides Dual Stab. But yeah, Naganadel, as usual, pretty threatening. Next, Alolan Ninetales is pretty good offensive pressure just with Ice and Fairy coverage. Hits his team very hard, and with Freeze Dry, I can at least somewhat touch Empoleon a little bit, but really dent into Gastrodon, so he's got to watch out for that for sure. Like a Scarfed Alolan Ninetales could be annoying for like Mega Lopunny or Zygarde, who would normally outspeed. And then I have Mew. Mew basically can 1v1 anything except for Crocodile, I guess. It depends how I EV on a Mew. And I guess the Armaldo, if it's like Choice Banded or very high attack, could probably take on the Mew, unless I'm like a Will-O-Wisp set. So this is the team I brought here. First we have Naganadel with Dragonium Z, Nasty Plot, Dragon Meteor, Sludge Wave, Thunderbolt. Pretty standard set, at least for my first three moves. Thunderbolt is there to hit the Empoleon. The speed allows me to outspeed Zygarde 10%, and the rest in bulk. Pretty straightforward there. Next we got Alolan Ninetales with Aurora Veil, Blizzard, Encore, Freeze Dry. I could have like a fairy move to hit Mega Lopunny, but Lopunny's probably going to take me out. Unless if I'm in first and I'm going to Aurora Veil up, and even then Blizzard's going to do decent damage to it. Encore is there in case like an Empoleon wants to come in and defog away. I can at least Freeze Dry beforehand, and then Encore into defog, and then I can bring one of my sweepers in later on. Blizzard's just a very powerful move there, hits his team pretty hard, and Freeze Dry is there for the Empoleon and the Gastrodon. Next I have Mew at Rocky Helmet, a defensive spread with Stealth Rocks, Psysock for general stab, also hits obviously the Mega Lopunny, the Emboar, a lot of his pokes, and then Aura Sphere is there for the Crocodile. So get a decent amount of damage off. I can tell if it's like an AV set to maybe take on my Naganadel. We'll see there. I don't want it to be my Crocodile answer, obviously because I don't have like Colbur Berry. This is mainly here to handle Mega Lopunny, because it should not be able to set up on me, even if I'm not max defense. Next Pokemon I have is Mega Gallade, with enough speed to outspeed a Zapdos. Rest into attack and bulk. Swords Dance, Ice Punch for the Zapdos, as well as stuff like the Amoonguss, even though like Psychic Stab would hit harder, but Ice Punch does enough there. Close Combat, Rex like the Emboar, the Empoleon. If I get the +2, Gastrodon goes down, and Shadow Sneak is there, I guess, for like the Frostlass and just general priority. Next I have Landorus. I do not have to beat a Zapdos with this spread, but I want some bulk to live an Ice Punch from like a Lopunny, and then either knock it out with a Psychic there, or do a ton of damage to it. Earth Power to hit a lot of his team very hard, except for the Zapdos. I am pretty walled by it with this set. Grass Knot is there for the Gastrodon, and a U-turn just to gain momentum throughout the match. Though if I go for U-turn, then he knows that I'm not going to be a Life Orb, so that's something to note there. And last is my Zapdos check in a Thunder Therian with max HP, max speed, with Iapapa Berry, Hidden Power Ice, Toxic, Psychic, and Thunderbolt. Toxic to wear down the Zapdos, because he has Gardevoir, which has Heal Bell, but that's the only Heal Bell user, and I doubt that he'll be bringing Heal Bell Gardevoir. He could, though. I would highly doubt it, though, based on how offensive my team is, and if he's more of a defensive Gardevoir, then a Naganadel can come in pretty easily there. In Power Ice to hit the Zapdos, as well as Thunderbolt. And Power Ice also hits the Zygarde for decent damage if he wants to try to set up on me. And Psychic is there to hit the Amoonguss. So that's my team, and let's see how well it does in the match. Alright, as we can see from his team here, he does not bring the Frostlass, which is very nice. It's a Ice type that if it Scarf could outspeed my Naganadel and do a lot of damage. Just Ice moves in general, pretty tough for my Thundurus to handle, my Landorus to handle. So very good that he did not bring that. I do have Yachi on my Landorus to take it on, but it's good I don't have to worry about that. Otherwise, I'm not terribly surprised on the mons he brought. I had Amoonguss pretty low down there, and what I thought he'd bring just because I have Mew. I have like a potential Z Thundy T with flying moves. Alolan Ninetales is there, Naganadel, Lando at Psychic, and Amoonguss shouldn't be able to knock me out in return. So I just have a lot of ways to handle it, but he did bring it, and I'm not terribly surprised. I would have been surprised if he brought Armaldo or a Swadloon. So in this matchup, Naganadel can sweep once. I'm assuming it's either like a Kevia Berry Gardevoir or like a Assault Vest Empoleon, but even Assault Vest Empoleon, I'm not quite sure what it's going to do to a Naganadel. I guess Ice Beam it, maybe, but that's not going to do a ton. I guess he could be like a Choice Banded Zygarde to with Extreme Speed to a Revenge Kill Naganadel. So we'll see there. But I want to make sure Empoleon, I'm assuming, is his main way to handle Naganadel, so I want to weaken that as much as possible, so that's why I'm going to lead off with it. And he does lead with the Empoleon, which is a great matchup here. Assuming he's not going to let this die to a close combat, because it is going to die to it, unless if he's Chople. If he's Chople, that's fine. He's not going to do a whole lot to me, so I'm pretty safe to go for the Swords Dance here. I guess if he did go into a Gardevoir at that point, I probably would have switched out, because he could have been like a Scarf to Moonblast, and that's something I don't want to deal with. But he goes into Zapdos, and like even a Scarfed like Air Cutter set wouldn't do a ton to me, and I would knock it out. And the only way where I can't knock out him, and +2 if he's like a max HP, max defense Zapdos, which he is not, so I'm able to knock that out, which is very nice. And now he goes to the Surf, obviously shows that he's Scarfed, because otherwise close combat would have killed even if he was a Chople Berry set. So this is very nice. The crit doesn't matter a whole lot, as you'll see later on in the match. But Mega Lopunny comes in, even if I was like at 60%, he would still be able to knock me out here. So I'm going to switch into my Lopunny answer, which is Mew. And he still does a decent amount of damage with this return, but not enough to Twit KO me. So I'm pretty safe to Soft Boil here. Doesn't matter if he gets a free switch. So I can handle Gardevoir pretty easily with my Thundy T. Just because my his Zapdos is dead, and that was the main purpose of my Thundurus, was to handle the Zapdos. So now I can play a little more reckless with this. But I do predict him to go to Zygarde on this play, so that's why I'm going to switch into Ninetales. And he can only knock me out if he's like Choice Banded or if he has Iron Tail. So I'm going to just try to knock him out here to Blizzard. He goes to the Dragon Dance. Now he told me after the match that he thought that I would be afraid of a Steelium Z Iron Tail, and he was pretty far on the back foot, losing his Empoleon and Zapdos there. Naganadel is in a pretty good shape here, so he had to figure out a way to try to sweep me before Naganadel was going to sweep him. But I do knock him out with a Blizzard here, which is very nice. And he goes into Mega Low Punny. He can revenge kill me pretty easily here, and I'm fine with that. But if in case he goes for like a sub or goes for a like a power-up punch, I'm going to encore here. And he does go for the power-up punch, which is very cool. I can encore him. He might have predicted me to go for the Aurora Veil there, so he wanted to get the attack up. But now he can't knock me out with another power-up punch, so I can safely get my Aurora Veil up. Or he's going to switch, which he does end up switching. In the Gardevoir, which I'm fine with. Again, because I Thunder T'd it to take it on at least somewhat. So I go to it here. And he's not going to be doing a ton of damage to me at all with Psychic just because of the Aurora Veil up. Get a Toxic on it to wear it down a little bit. And I feel like I could probably set up on this Gardevoir with my Negative Dell with screens up. I'm doing a little bit of damage to the point where I think he's going to Wish here. So I'm going to go into Negative Dell. And he does go for the Wish, which is very nice. And at this point, I can set up a Nasty Plot. If he has Size Shock, that'd be a little bit of an issue. But he does not. Psychic does a decent amount, but not enough. And I'm pretty sure, based on the way he's playing his Mega Low Punny, that he does not have Fake Out. Even if he did have Fake Out, Mew could take that in pretty easily. So I'm assuming I'm going to be able to sweep and win the game here. I get a +1 speed boost by killing a Gardevoir, and I'm not going to risk missing Drake and Meteor, so I'm going to go for the Devastating Drake and knock out this Amoonguss. And Mega Low Punny is not Fake Out, so I'm going to get the 6-0 victory here. Pretty convincing win. Lano, I didn't come into the match at all. Just a solid win by me. Make sure you check out Xilicks' channel, which I'll have in the description down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to support me in this season and maybe future projects I'll be having along later down the road. But until next time, later guys.